Okay, my first worm viewers. So we're going to do some sifting today. This is the lighter of the two worm castings that we have. Still keeping the microbes rolling in these cement mixing trays. And then I have one over here that we need to actually sift. So I'm going to go ahead and knock off as many of these castings as worms as I can within this bubble wrap here. Hopefully give them a good shake. There's quite a few worms still in here. So I'm going to fold this up here and I'll put this into my bin that's over here. And then same thing with this one. This one should have very few worms in it. This is just pure castings. And the idea today is just to simply sift the castings. So point out a few things. These are all castings here, so you can see there's sprouts that are coming up through the natural germination process of the stuff in here. And there really isn't a lot of worms. There's a few in here. They're kind of hatching from all their cocoons. There's a small amount of feeding in here, and there's very minimal amounts of worms in this. Same here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these worms that are in here because I really don't want them in here. I just want this to be castings, and the cocoons that are from the castings continue to hatch out on us. So drop them in here. Okay, so the whole point of this video here is I'm going to go ahead and bring this all forward. I'm going to bring as much of this to the front of this towards me as I can, because really what I want to show is I want to show the amount of castings that we're going to sift out of this bin here. So the front of this bin is relatively empty now, and then our homemade little sifting machine, slide this over a little bit, bring that in here, and basically these are all worm castings that I've been slowly feeding out the worms from. So let's see what we can get. Again, 1/8" screen, so the larger particles is not going to go through this. There'll also be some small cocoons and worms that won't filter through. We're just getting the pure worm casting out of this. Again, stuff that's not broken down fully. And again, this is still a relatively wet bin, so as it dries out longer, it will break down. So nothing ever will really go to waste when it comes out of this. Again, we're going to sift, what are we on, 4? This is our 4th one. Let's go a total of 6 here. We'll do 6. And last one to show you just kind of what we gathered within that little bit of sifting. All right. We're done there. Now let me get in here. Right? So just within 6 sifts, this is all going to be extremely fertile worm composting. I'll mix this in. I promise you, come springtime, nothing is going to grow your fruits and vegetables any better than what you see right here. This is absolutely the best organic material you're ever going to use, and you will absolutely yield more fruits, more vegetables by using really just nature's natural composting, right? So again, these are all the pieces that didn't break down, and honestly, there are tons of cocoons in here. I know you can't see them from the camera angle you're at, but it's just littered with cocoons. I'm going to come through here and continue to just sift through. Here's another piece of, so some really That was a little paw full of worms right here. We're going to put into our mega bin there. When I say mega, it's not really mega, but it's definitely bigger than the other ones I have. And again, I'm just trying to get the worms to kind of feed out of this bin, so I can eventually just end up drying it out and sifting through. And when I mean dry, I don't mean physically like let it completely dry, because I still want the microbes to be fresh and organic and lively, which they will stay lively for up to 6 months. But I'm really trying to keep these, you know, the microbes as fresh as possible as we go into February, March, April, May time frame. And I don't anticipate to have that much to really sell through. This is just kind of my beginning year, first year of my first worms journey. And we're just learning together as we grow here. So your feedback and your comments will be greatly appreciated. Maybe you guys are doing this already and you have some tips or tricks. I'm really kind of just learning this through all our YouTube subscriptions I have, and vermicomposting sites. So I know I've had recently quite a few vermicomposting community like and subscribe to our journey, and I appreciate you. You know, as we continue to learn and grow together, it's just one community. We're helping out people. We're helping out our local communities, and it's a hobby. It's not like this is a full-time job by any means for me. This is just hey, get me out of the house into the garage, see what we can do kind of scenario here. Plus, I mean, we have tons of food scraps, so why let that go to waste? You know, we're using this to naturally compost, and I mean, honestly, these first couple bins will probably be gifted to friends and family, just so they can see what the power of worm castings actually do. As you can see, it's just pure worm castings, as you can see right through here. So I'm just going to get this mixed in a little bit. I figure by the time we get to February, March, we'll have roughly around 300-400 pounds of worm castings is what my goals hopefully to be, based on the habitat you see behind me. But you can see this bin right here. I'm going to go ahead and bring a lot of this forward now, because I really just want some of this to dry out, and I want to continue to keep the food going in this bin. So I'm not going to take any more out of here, but I am going to keep the food down in here. And I have some of my worm chow that hopefully spilling it. There we go. I just made a fresh batch of that, so we're going to sprinkle this on in. Again, I'm not putting a lot. I just want to keep what they have kind of there, and I do cover it up. So I'm going to let them kind of all hopefully get into this zone, this feeding zone, so I can get the rest of these worms kind of out of here. And then we're going to take this bin. I'm actually going to throw fresh cardboard right behind it, and that's going to be tomorrow, because I'm going to let some cardboard soak tonight, which will be a different video. So the idea is hey, we shook out, you know, really what, a half a bin here. Added the worm castings over here to this side, and then this bin is sitting at about probably 65 pounds, 55, 65 pounds of fresh worm castings. So really doing quite well. So if you like what you see, like, subscribe, follow our journey. My first worm. Thank you.